I'm Kelly Davidson. This is my audience. Alright. Assalamu alaikum. That's the greeting that you give when you meet another Muslim, or it's just a nice greeting to give people. Today I'm going to be demonstrating and informing on how one converts to Islam. And this knowledge is beneficial because it is good to defy ignorance and know about other cultures even if you're not necessarily interested in them. And obviously it's very important information if you were considering converting. My credibility statement is that I myself am now a Muslim, so I know things, and I have lots of Muslim friends, and I've done a lot of research on this topic. The three main parts to conversion are research, the shahada, and practicing. And now I will go in depth into these. So the first step would be research. It's very important to research as much as you possibly can so that you know what you're getting into and if you actually believe in the things that it teaches. A lot of people have misconceptions about the religion based on news, what they see in the news. A lot of people think that Muslims are just terrorists, and that's vastly wrong. Vastly wrong. There's so many resources online, such as YouTube videos, and a lot of scholars and lecturers give presentations and talk about things that are said in the Quran and etc. When you research, it's important to know where you're getting your information because it could possibly be false. A lot of times books, they're written by scholars who know what they're talking about, so books are a more reliable source than online, but sometimes you have what you have, especially here in Indiana. There's not exactly a lot of resources. And of course, the best way would be talking to an imam. An imam is a preacher of sorts, as in like comparing to Christianity. The second step would be saying the shahada. When you know that that's what you want to do and you have full intention of being a Muslim, like you know this is what you believe, you're not being coaxed into it, like this is what you want, then you simply say that statement, and it's the testimony of faith, and shahada is the word in Arabic for it, and it's two sentences, la ilaha illa Allah, and that means there's no God but God, and Muhammadun Rasulullah, which means Muhammad is the messenger of God, and that's it. And you say it with intention in your heart and the right pronunciation, and congratulations, you're a Muslim, in name, really. It's important to, of course, put these into your practice, because otherwise you're just Muslim in name. I mean, practice is the most important part. And of course, an important part of converting is knowing about the 5 pillars. And these pillars, of course, are the shahada, of course, which is faith, the first one, which we have discussed. The second pillar is salat, prayer, and it is best to pray 5 times a day at specific times throughout the day. And the first is before sunrise, which is called Fajr, and it has 2 rakats, which is a unit of prayer, and it's a physical movement, like you get on the ground in your knees and bow and prostrate yourself in front of God, like basically, like, you know, this is how you worship, you know, like. And the second is Zuhr, which is in the middle of the day around like 1 o'clock, and Asr, which is around 4:30, and Maghrib, which is sunset, and Isha is around like 8 o'clock, like after. It's important to do all of these to keep with a routine and to keep within your faith. It's good to practice, and it just makes you feel better if that's what your faith is. The third pillar is zakat, which means charity. This is literal and figurative. You're meant to give a certain portion of your income a year to charity based on your income. And charity also means being nice to people around you, smiling at people on the street, just spreading kindness and being kind to people. And your friends around you, honoring your parents, being a good friend, and if you're married, being a good husband or wife, just being kind to people and spreading the joy. And because it's a religion based on peace, and people forget that in the bigotry. Its main purpose is peace. The fourth, which is Swam, which means fasting during Ramadan. Fasting, of course, is abstaining from eating, drinking, and sexual acts during when the sun is up. And when the sun goes down, then you can eat again and drink, not alcohol, obviously. Ramadan takes place in most of the time around June, but it varies every year because it is based on the moon. It is very important in the culture to celebrate Ramadan, and it is began and ended with Eid, and it's like a Christian's comparison to Christmas. That's like their Christmas, Eid. It's not the same any means, it's just what I can compare it to so people can understand. The fifth pillar is a Hajj, which is the pilgrimage to Mecca, which is what every Muslim that can is meant to do at least once in their lifetime. Umrah is a half pilgrimage because it's a 4-week journey between Mecca and Medina in Saudi Arabia. You spend time praying and studying the Quran, and there are several traditions and things you're meant to do while on this pilgrimage. Also, reading the Quran is a very important part to being a Muslim because it is, as we believe, words straight from God, and so it's very important to study, and which I have a copy now, and it's thick. It's like the Bible, but it's not man-made like the Bible, and so we believe it as to be the true words of God. Now myself, I'm not trying to convert anyone, I'm simply demonstrating and informing. To each their own. I wish people happiness. To me, it brings me happiness, and so that's why I wanted to bring this knowledge to everyone. In conclusion, this knowledge is beneficial because it is important to not let people change your outlook or think that these people are bad because they're not. I mean, sometimes they're the nicest people that you'll ever meet. It's just people see what they see on the news and that's it. They don't research. They don't look into things for themselves. And that's how ignorance is spread. Like, people, you need to research. I'm not saying that you shouldn't convert by any means, to each their own, but you must know about other cultures. I hope you will all feel more knowledgeable and steer clear of ignorance in the future, inshallah. Thank you. And this is my audience.